Video 1 on electricity, looking at some basic electric circuits. So we're going to look at the essential components to make it function, how we draw and label a diagram, and start looking at how we measure values in an electrical circuit. Our essentials first of all. For a circuit to work, you need something that's going to supply energy. Power supply, that might be plugging it into the wall, that might be a battery pack. You need a complete circuit, so we need a closed loop for the circle to flow through, no gaps. And we need somewhere to drop the energy, which we call the load. So that might be a light, it might be a buzzer, that kind of thing. If the first two aren't there, the current won't flow at all. If the third is missing, we get too much current, the wires would overheat. Some call that a short circuit. The power supplies are machines which separate electrons from their atoms. So they put the electrons on one side, leave the positive ions on the other. It requires some energy. Okay, and if you're doing it in a battery, that energy comes from a chemical reaction that releases energy. Chemical reaction that releases energy is known as an exothermic one. So what we're doing is we're separating out those negative electrons, and what's being left behind has got an overall positive charge. Now, they're pulled strongly back towards the positive of the battery, but the battery itself is combined so that it can't, well, it's created so that they can't just flow back within the battery. There's an internal structure within it that stops that, so they have to find another way round. That other way round is via the circuit. So they whiz around the circuit, being pushed out of the negative end, going back round to the positive end. This movement of electrons around the wire, that's your electric circuit. Right, and the power supply is going to keep on taking electrons away from their atoms, and they're going to continue to whiz around and get back by going through the circuit. If we've only got this, it's a short circuit. Okay, they're going to start going faster and faster and faster. We're going to get a really hot wire. We need a load. We need something that's going to use that energy to slow the electrons down. Okay. If our load is something that doesn't do anything useful with the energy, we call it a resistor. Okay. So that's something where the energy is used up, but you can't see any change. Something like a light bulb we call transducers, and those are ones that do something interesting with the energy.